Well, it's another day, and Blackie, maybe I'll call her Blackie. She's working with me. I took that flooring out, picked it up, because remember, I don't use nails unless I absolutely have to. And I've got one more pallet to put on there. And then I'll tell you what I'm going to do next. I think I'm going to go ahead and lay more flooring here this morning. This afternoon I want to go outside. Here's a connection. I've been experimenting with making dough, baking my own bread. And I've learned about handling dough. And you know, a pinch of flour makes it so that you can handle it until it gets mixed in. And what I've done right here is sort of the same. I have very dry manure here, but I'm fishing out soggy, wet stuff. And it leaves a soggy, wet spot. So I raked some of the dry over it, and now I can walk right on it without getting stuck. I see it like making a dough. Here at the other end of that pipe, I'm doing the same thing. That's what I couldn't get with the shovel, of what I scooped out of there. So I've got all this dry around. I'll rake it onto it, and it won't be a wet spot, it'll be a dry spot. There, you see what I mean, I'm sure. My bench. Back to this spot. Now I'm laying the floor back down and using just what the pallets that came off, the skids I should say. And what I'm using as a finish floor for now are treads, which I plan to use for a winding stair that'll go just on the far side of that wall. And the longer treads that I've got a bunch of them. I had them there. I'm putting them down there, again, just as a temporary floor. There, I've added on to my temporary floor. Keep the goats out of the mud and on the wood, they like that. And I'll be able to count the treads that I have to build the stairs, because I put the ones back here, the shorter ones. I'll probably use mostly shorter ones, I don't know. There's one I maybe ought to get out. But I laid them across here as well. There's maybe 15 or so there, of various sizes. Oh, maybe more than that, because there's 3 layers. So I'll get that down. And I want to tell you too that this floor going along that outside wall leads to the kitchen where those curtains are hanging. And I want it level, and I want it level with a door here that's going to go into the elevator, so that somebody in a wheelchair could have access all the way from the roof all the way to the outside, to the kitchen, to this sauna, to my work bench, to visit with the goats. It'll match that floor that I have so temporarily set over there for the goats. What would be great is if I could work it out somehow that the pigs would come in here and sleep in a pile like they like to do. It would warm this whole area, because they warm themselves with their pile. One other thing before I quit for this morning is I want to introduce you to Heidi. She's my oldest goat. Next to the humans here, she's probably the oldest creature on the farm that I know of. She's the first goat I ever got. She's like the great-great-grandmother of a lot of these goats. She doesn't go up the pasture unless she really feels like it. She approves of what I've done right here. All right, bye, at least for the moment.